In this lesson, we will determine the equation of the line in slope-intercept form when passing through two given points. We will be going over 3 different examples. If you would like more practice problems, go ahead and check out the links in the description box below. Now let's take a look at our first example. We have points 1, 2, and 3, 4. We want the linear equation to be in slope-intercept form, and for slope-intercept form, this equation can be used. Y equals mx plus b. And for all slope-intercept form equations, this is going to be used always. So what we want to do first is to find our slope, which is going to be our m in our equation. So in order to do this, we have m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So this is going to be our equation to find the slope. And in order to find these values, to know what to plug into these values, all we have to do is look at our given points and label them. So 1 is our first x value, so we label it as x1. 2 is our first y value, so that'll be y1. 3 is our second x value, so that'll be x2. And 4 is our second y value, so that'll be y2. And now we just have to plug it in to our slope equation. So we have 4 minus 2 over 3 minus 1. And now we just calculate it to get 2 over 2. And we simplify this to 2 divided by 2 equals 1. So our slope for our given values is m equals 1. We can plug that in to our equation here. Now we have to find our b value, which is going to be our y-intercept. So in order to find this, we plug in one of these points here into our equation and we can solve for b. So I'm going to choose the first one, 1, 2. And so our y value is 2 equals, and then our slope is 1. And then our x value is going to be 1 plus b. Now we just have to solve it. So we have 2 equals, 1 times 1 is 1 plus b. Now we have to isolate the b, so we subtract 1 from both sides. 1 minus 1 is 0, and 2 minus 1 is 1. So we have b, or our y-intercept, equals 1. Now we plug in the values that we found out into our slope-intercept equation. So we have y equals 1x plus 1. And we can further simplify this, since anything times 1, it will just be itself, so it'll just be y equals x plus 1. And this will be our slope-intercept form equation for our two given points. Now let's take a look at another example. We have points 15, 12, and 7, negative 9. Again, we want to use our slope-intercept equation, which will be y equals mx plus b. To start off, we're going to find our slope first, which is our m. So for the slope equation, it is m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So 15 will be our first x value, so that'll be x1. 12 is our first y value, so that's y1. 7 is our second x value, so x2. And then negative 9 is our second y value, so y2. And now we just plug it in here to find our slope, or m. So we have negative 9 minus 12 over 7 minus 15. And that gives us negative 21 over negative 8. And two negatives divided by each other equal a positive, so that means our slope, or our m value, will be 21 over 8. So we can go ahead and write that down over here, 21 over 8. Again, we can pick one of these given points and plug it in to our slope-intercept equation here to find our b value. So I'm going to use the first point, 15 and 12. So our y value is 12 equals, and our slope is going to be 21 over 8. Our x value is 15, and then plus b. So we do 21 over 8 times 15, and we get 315 over 8. So we have 12 equals 315 over 8 plus b. Now we have to subtract 315 over 8 from both sides. This gets us 0, and then 315 over 8 we subtract from 12, and we get negative 219 over 8. So negative 219 over 8 equals our b value, or our y-intercept value. So now we just have to plug that into our slope-intercept equation to get y equals 21 over 8x plus negative 219 over 8. Or to make it even neater so that there are not so many symbols in this equation, you can just make it minus 219 over 8, which is essentially the same thing as plus negative 219 over 8. But again, I don't want this to look so messy, so we'll just do minus. So we have y equals 21 over 8x minus 219 over 8 for example 2. For our last example, we have points 3, 2 and 6, 3. If you would like to figure this one out on your own first, you can go ahead and pause this video before we go over it. Okay, so we have our slope-intercept equation. It's going to be y equals mx plus b. We have to figure out our slope first, which is m. So m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And we label our given points, so 3 will be x1, 2 will be y1, 6 will be x2, and 3 will be y2. And we just plug it in here. So that means we will get 3 minus 2 over 6 minus 3. And then we calculate that to get 1 over 3. So our m value will be 1 over 3. Our slope will be 1 over 3. Now we have to find our b value. So we take one of these given points here. I'm just going to go with the first one. So our 2 will be our y, m will be 1 over 3, and x will be 3. And then we have plus b. Now we just have to simplify this to find our b. So we have 2 equals, and then 1 over 3 times 3 will be 1 plus b. We simplify this further by subtracting 1 from both sides. So 1 minus 1 is 0, 2 minus 1 is 1. So our b is 1. So for our finished equation for slope-intercept form, will be y equals 1 over 3x plus 1. Again, if you would like more practice problems, check out the links in the description box below. And as always, if you like this video, go ahead and give it a like and subscribe for more videos.